Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. We talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on today's show, I'm pleased to have a senior from Kolbe Cathedral, plays on the boys basketball team, and had not just a outstanding season, but a great 4 years with the program. Tyrell Staples Santos. Ty, it's great to be able to have you on here, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on.
Obviously what you have done for the game of basketball in terms of with Kobe speaks for itself. And we'll get into that, during our discussion. First, I just want to ask you, as far as the journey for you being able to find the game of basketball, how did it find you?
Um, I wish I had my basketball over here. Since I was born, I remember the very first baby picture that I can recall is I'm holding a basketball. And my dad, he comes from a state championship team, back in 2001, Harding, they won the state championship. Um I think the pretty sure that was his senior year. So, just, being around him so much and a lot of his friends and stuff, even his career after high school basketball, just being around the game so much, I fell in love with.
Were you able to watch as you got older? Were you able to watch any of his film from back in the day?
It's crazy. Actually, there wasn't too much film of him playing back in the day, but I know just recently on YouTube, they actually like dropped a few. I don't know if it's the full games, but
Mhm.
they have some of the games um that were posted up there. I remember actually a little before I came out here, I was watching his game against Bassick. And I remember, yeah, that game was tremendous. Like the amount of people that they had to come in the gym, and it's not like that anymore. I know, especially because of COVID and everything. It was a great environment. It looked like a championship game, but it was just a regular rivalry game.
It's crazy when you think about games back then. And there's certain games even now where a lot of people will come. But, even championship games, like a lot of times I remember doing the NVO championship over the last couple of years, and it's like sometimes it's hard to draw people and you wonder
Mhm.
for various reasons why. But when you saw that, how the amount of people, when you saw, I don't know if how much the film that you watched of that game, but when you saw all those people, did it kind of make you think like, wow, that many people, like the game of basketball in Connecticut thriving?
Yeah, we were actually kind of going back and forth, which is funny about this game because I was like, I personally, he was talking a lot about Harden and how good they were. I was like, I don't know if he started it or I don't know if I started it,
Mhm.
but somewhere down the road, it was like, Harden would be Kobe. So I was like, wait, well, hold up, Harden be Kobe. So, we were going back and forth, and um, I really would like the chance to play in a game like that. Like just to go back in time and
Mhm.
play. The community is amazing. They had a big supporting cast at a lot of those games, and it was just loud, and you could hardly really hear people like talking and stuff. You just, the crowd is just crazy. So I know that was for him. That was a wonderful experience and a night to remember.
Now, when you saw him playing, um, what was his? I mean, were you like the same build? I mean, obviously you're tall, lanky, you've got athleticism. I mean, we were talking earlier about Essay being able to jump through the entire gym. I mean, you can jump as well. Like the athleticism is there. Was he more of that same build? Was he stockier? But take me into that.
My dad's build is more like, I'll
Mhm.
say, Allen Iverson. He
Okay.
probably, like my dad, he couldn't really shoot like that.
Mhm.
Because for one, growing up in the inner city, there wasn't a lot of um, he didn't have all the, I'll say, tools to help increase his game as far as how he wanted to.
Mhm.
And there was nobody on it telling him like, okay, you got to work on this and that. It was more of go to the park every day, and you're playing the rough, or you're just going up and down like Nanago and all these other parks around here,
Mhm.
and you're just trying to dribble through guys and shake them. So that's like, it was just more of a handle type game. I know a lot of people tell me about my dad, like walking down the street and stuff, like um he was like, yo, your dad, his handle was crazy. Like I know he dropped a few people. His my handle's nowhere near his, that's for sure. So I know he emulated his game a lot off of Allen Iverson, and I know that he didn't. Well, from what he told me, He said that all he really known was like the East End. Like he didn't know that there was more out there. He told me that once he felt that he was the best on the East End, he'll be able to go to the NBA. He didn't know that there was other people playing in different states and other countries even. So he thought it was just East End, and you know watching all those AN1 mixtapes and stuff like that. That was more of his game, his street ball.
Mhm.
So a smaller guard. I think he's like 5'10", 5'9", so fast, quick.
Mhm.
It's more of his game from for what I know. So yeah.
The game too also, and I don't think anybody would say that I'm wrong here, but the game's also changed a lot. I mean, back to when your dad played, there wasn't a lot of 3-point shooters.
Mm,
The 3-point shot really wasn't much of like a thing like it is now. I think Steph Curry kind of made that what it is now. He made it kind of that exploratory. Let's go outside and try to shoot as long. I mean, also too Damian Lillard as well from the Blazers.
mhm,
Um, but when I think about those two, it's almost like seeing two different worlds. Where
mhm,
during your dad's time, like you said, that the ball handling skills, dribbling
yeah.
through guys, the driving ability, the
Mhm,
shooting wasn't there. Now, as we get to the age of where it's shooting, 3-point, we're not even seeing so much full court. It's more half court. What's your take on
mhm.
that?
Um, Another thing. This is what my dad told me. He told me
Mm,
that when he calls it when he was creating me, or when he was creating me, or like shaping me. Um, he kind of knew that the dribbling gene will kick in eventually at some point. Me
mm,
personally, I don't think my handle is all that great. I think it's pretty simple. But when I will work out, the first thing that I would focus on was shooting. That was the first thing that I learned. Um, he felt that in college, being able to knock down that open shot is, key to even being recruited and scoring on all three levels. Um, the first thing I did work on was my shooting ability, a little bit of ball handling, not really, and my mid range didn't really come until probably say around I want to say sophomore into junior year. That's when
mm.
I started using my mid range more, and working on my footwork and everything. Um, but I feel like the game is always evolving, and even the 3-point line before it was a lot closer than what it is now today. Well, you can't really say that to Stephen Curry. It just keeps moving back. So you know, being able to score in a half court set, you got to be able to shoot. That's it's not you're not gonna get to the rim too many times when you got 7 feet and Donovan Clingan 7'2" in the paint. So you know you got to be able to shoot.
Especially too now where as an offensive player, I mean a defensive guy, and I know you won in the All-Star game, you won for your defense, and we'll get into that later.
Mhm.
You can't even hand check guys because it's a foul. You can't even touch them, it's a foul. So it
It's
gives the
actually funny.
shooters now, yeah, you would know, it gives you more room to be able, all right, if this guy can't touch me, all right, I'm going to take advantage and use my offensive ability to the best I can.
Saw a video of that yesterday. They were asking Luka Doncic if it was harder to score in the Euro League, or was it harder to score in the NBA? And he said it's easier to score in the NBA because of not because of the players.
Hmm.
It was like the talent is tremendous, but because of all the rules. I know he mentioned you have more time. Um, the big man can't stay in the paint, for 3 seconds. No hand checking. And other and in the league that he was playing in, all those are off the table. Big guy could sit in the middle.
Hmm.
There is hand checking, and I think you have less time. You have more possession, but you have less time. Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about obviously, when you started to mature more into the game of basketball, and then, you got to the point where you're like, okay, now you're entering high school. Now it's starting to get to that point where it's like, okay, things are starting to speed up now. I'm just talking about as far as the ability is concerned. When you went to Kobe, how was that for you as far as the adjustment from when you were younger? Because obviously, it's like in baseball. When you go from high school to the pros, if you're drafted out of high school,
Mhm.
obviously the game is going to speed up. You're seeing from 85, 86 to 95 to 100. For you, how was the speed of the game in terms of basketball from the time you were seventh, eighth grade, and then freshman year at Kobe?
Mhm. Um, for one, I am a chess player. So, when you're playing, before when me playing chess, I used to play like those really long, slow games.
Mhm.
But once you start, you start playing with clock, and you only got about like 5 minutes to 3 minutes to think. It speeds you up. You got to process things a lot quicker. And I think chess has played a big factor, being able to see things before they happen. Um, your eyes and stuff adjust to the speed.
Mhm.
um, to eighth grade going into freshman year. I know if you scroll down a little bit towards the beginning of my Twitter, you'll see me playing with a few Division 1 athletes in the gym and being around them so much. Um, you know, Obviously having a sort of kiddie game, it's not going to work with those guys. And I remember being on a team with them. I got called out on it a lot, and I had to pretty much transform my game. I had to evolve my game. And just playing with them so much, when you go into a regular high school game, everything slows down. And I think playing with that talent, it helped me a lot.
Would you say too that being a chess player, and that's really cool that I'm terrible at chess, and the fact that you're good at chess is, I would think you're pretty good at chess, especially the way you're describing it. It sounds
Yeah.
like you are. You also have to be patient. Like you
uh,
can't be too like, because you
mhm,
gotta, because for people who may not know chess, there has to be somebody else playing on the other side. And that other
yeah,
person could sit there for 10 minutes, like kind of like what you said,
mhm,
analyzing, okay, if he does this or if I do this, what's he gonna do? Just like in basketball,
mhm,
being the point guard, okay, am I passing? Is somebody cutting? Who's going where, when, how, and why? Uh,
mhm.
do you feel like too it also helped, even at a young age, it allowed you to be patient? And just like in basketball, if you're having a rough game, a rough half, rough
Mhm.
season, to be patient, trust the process, just keep working and don't get
Yeah.
down on yourself.
Um, Being patient. Um, I say my take on that is like, I
Mhm.
feel like you have to, for that also to take place, you have to watch basketball. You got to watch basketball a lot. Um, for instance, coming off a screen, you get hit with a hard edge. Um, I know sometimes people like Ja, he'll just attack it straight on. Um, what I've learned over watching basketball, sometimes after a hard hedge, if you just sit there for a split second, the big will go back to um to the guy that he's guarding, and for a split second you have a hole to attack, and you
Mhm.
could either drive, take a layup, mid range, or you could kick out to an open shooter in the corner. And I think just from us, this is like going off track a little bit from chess, but I think just from watching basketball so much, I think that helps with um knowing when and when not to be patient.
So the visual aspect in terms of watching, you're somebody who, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but you need to see it. You need to visually see what is going on rather than it being told to you. Is that right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't say completely, but yeah, in some aspect, yes.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Hence why this is a great discussion here. Okay, so you talked about being with those Division 1 athletes your freshman year. Now, at some point, they moved on. They went off to do other things, and now you're going into your sophomore year. But something happens that nobody could have expected: COVID,
Yeah,
and it affected not just your sophomore but your junior year. And I think that speaks to your class in particular. And I think a lot of people kind of forget about it, which is crazy.
yeah,
Your class, sports or not, is the class that was affected by COVID, I think, the most because your
yeah.
class was going through trial by error. This works. This doesn't work. Oh, by the way, you're going to have no state tournament sophomore, junior year, and it's going to be condensed and all that. How
Oh,
did you? Yeah, it was terrible. How did you deal with that, man?
um, really, that's just more hours in the gym to keep working. That's
Okay.
how I took it. I put myself, I put myself in a lot of other players' shoes that
Mhm.
are on the team, because it was like a really tough time, even in school. Like I remember after we won the Southwest Conference sophomore year. They asked all the basketball players to report, like girls and boys, to report to the gymnasium, and just seeing the looks on their face when they're saying their season was over. Um, it wasn't really like a time to joke around. It was really serious,
Mm.
and I didn't really understand until my junior year, when after we lost against Notre Dame in the Southwest Conference. Um, and like it was like maybe like a game before that we got shut down. And I was like, all right, so we have two seniors on the team. I'm constantly hearing, play every game like it's your last. We won the game before we played Notre Dame, we won that game.
Mhm.
But they were basically gonna say, no, you can't play in that game. You win or lose, you guys are shut down. So, seeing the looks on those guys' face and knowing that I'm gonna be a senior next year, um, I was like, it just something just snapped, like, yo, high school just went by really fast. Like, just yesterday I was a freshman. So, um, just feeling empathetic and, really like talking to those guys, and they're telling you like cherish your moments because this is gonna come by really quick. And um that's when I really felt it. That's when it really hit me, you know so
Do you think there was any, not to say you're not motivated, you're not someone who loves the game. I know you love the game. But do you think after dealing with the last 2 years plus, and we're still dealing with COVID, but we know more, et cetera, do you think going through that kind of major appreciation, like you just said, you were hearing constantly, play like it's your last. You don't know if this is going to be taken away. Do you think that kind of upped the ante a little bit more after COVID and all that?
Oh yeah, definitely. And the fact that, a few times, I gotta thank my coaches,
Mhm.
they keep me in check at all times, especially around this time, before the game. Coach Leary, he was always talking to me before the game. And, I'm more of a guy who likes to feed off the energy of the crowd. Like, I don't really play to the crowd too much.
Mhm.
He tells me, obviously, don't play for the crowd, play your game. But sometimes you hit a few big shots. You over there, you looking at the crowd because we haven't been playing in front of a crowd in a while. Even some of these sophomores that a lot of our sophomores that were playing varsity this year, they were just playing JV just last year. And in these JV games, there were no fans, and now they're coming into these big games with a whole bunch of fans, and you make one little mistake and everybody's going crazy. So just he kept me in check like a lot and feeding off the energy from the crowd. It was just I had a great time. It just upped the intensity and everything, and just the clapping, the excitement. I could feel it still, so that's why I smile a little bit. But yeah, it's just I'm kind of hurt that it had to end this way, but it's an exciting feeling.
In your senior year, you were not only able to, like you said, you like to smile. Well, you had a lot to smile about between not just yourself, but the team. Obviously, what you guys were able to accomplish all the way through. I mean, just kind of take me into your season because there was a lot of good. I mean, one in particular is the fact that you guys were one of the deepest teams in all of Connecticut.
Oh, I think that personally, we go at our JV, we go at our JV team a lot, and and our team is like, is it frozen? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Okay, yeah, your face froze. I'm seeing red bars up here.
Oh,
Um,
you're good.
they're like, yeah, we go at our JV team a lot, and just constantly going back and forth, battling, and being myself, and Coach Full, and the coaches and everything. We're really competitive when it comes to practice. Um, it doesn't matter who's on the other team. We're gonna go at them. We're gonna try to get the best out of them, because when you're constantly going at it back and forth, iron sharpens iron. So I feel like Coach Full, he has us practicing all together, and our JV guys are used to going against varsity guys. So when their game comes, they'll be ready. Him sometimes he'll throw an extra player on the court. He'll put like 6 against 5, and he'll try to make it, so when the game comes, it'll be easier. He tries to make practice a lot harder than, what to expect in the games. So even like, and sometimes he'll switch up the lineups too. So some of those guys, they'll come and they'll play with us. So I think that's it's like a preparation for those guys. So when they get to our games, they're ready.
It's one of those things, man, where you think about, like, if someone's wondering, how did Kobe get as far as they did? Why are they consistently so good? I mean, take me into Coach Full and his development of you in particular. What does Coach Full, or more so, what does the staff mean
Hmm.
to you during your 4 years with Kobe?
I know for one, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for them. The support, Coach Ricketts, Coach JJ, Coach Leary, Coach Full, even Coach Seamus. He was actually the coach my freshman year, and he had some family things going on, so he couldn't join us, but he still went out of his way to make it to as many games as he could, and I'm really appreciative of all of them. Um, Before the season started, endless hours in the gym after school with Coach JJ, Coach Leary. Anytime you need that gym opened up, he's got you on the shooting gun. Working out, Coach Curley, he's always in there with us, working on post moves with the bigs, guard skills. Um, Coach Fo, he's everywhere. He's like the mastermind behind everything. Um, Even Coach Ricketts, he comes in. Sometimes he helps out. He's actually like one of the hardest workers, like underrated. Like he makes sure you're prepared before you go to any game. He's gonna let you know what to expect. He has all your stats and everything, and
Mhm.
he's always talking to you. Um, he even helped us set up the press conference before um, we play hand. He was actually in the room with us. So they're really supportive, and I'm really grateful that they were my coaches for all 4 years.
And through your 4 years, and I'm sure, obviously, we just talked about, the coaches and how much they meant to you. Is there anything in particular that you will take with you for however far you go, either in the game of basketball? And I know, on, you know, at any level, however far you get, obviously there's an academic side and there's post basketball, you know,
Mhm.
having a family, life, etc. Is there anything that you're going to be able to take with you for the rest of your life during your time at Kobe? It could be either be on the court or off the court. It doesn't matter.
If I had to take anything, um, I feel like it's a lot bigger than basketball. It's family. So I feel like anywhere that I do end up, I'm gonna go by Kobe, like wherever I go. So like wherever I do end up and I make it, I'm always gonna be able to come back. Coach Foley tells us anytime you need. He even has players that has left that comes back, and they show up at our practices once in a while, and just to watch, and um, you could tell that he's what he's doing here is like it's more than basketball. It's family. Um, I feel like I could just come back whenever I want, and still feel like I'm a part of the team. So like I'm a part of something bigger than basketball.
And hopefully, when you do go back to a practice, and hopefully you come back to a game in which I'm broadcasting, because I want to get you on during the halftime. That'd be awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, you'll be able to find the school that you want to. And right now, you haven't found a school yet. There's some options, but you just got done with one AllStar game. You've got a couple more coming up. Just talk to me, and for anybody who'll be watching this, as far as what you've been up to since the game at Mohegan Sun. What have you been doing since?
Um, this answer is gonna be kind of brief. Just been working out, just in the gym constantly all the time. Just always working out. Uh, Not much to do once you get out of school. It's not like you got practice. If I wasn't out here right now, I'd be at the gym. Even in weather like this, maybe like around probably say around like 8, 9 o'clock, I go outside. I go to Nichols, and I'm doing shadow dribbling under the light, on the wall, just watching myself dribble, going up and down the court, practicing, working out moves, just trying to master my craft. I feel like that's what for the next level, at least that's something that I really need. I've been doing drills and stuff my whole life. I think right now it's just time that I mastered my craft.
See, I don't know too many people that would do that at 9 o'clock at night. A lot of people will be getting ready for bed or having ice cream. No, not Ty. Ty's not doing that. Ty doesn't want that. Ty wants
That's
to
the best
be,
time. Yeah,
yeah,
street light come on.
dude, that is awesome. Seriously. Great. Fantastic stuff, Ty. Seriously. It's great to be able to have you on. Before I let you go, you do have a couple All-Star games coming up. If you just want to talk about those very quickly as far as what's coming up on your schedule, and obviously coaches, if they'll be watching this, maybe where they can find where Ty will be because he's available, hasn't made a choice yet. So the floor is yours.
Um, well, we have the Salisbury game tomorrow at Wilbercross. Um, there's some talent on that roster. It's an honor to play in that game against Rhode Island. Um, I haven't played in this game, so I don't know what to expect really. From what my coaches and what my parents have told me, just go out and act like act like it's a championship game. Go out, give it your all, because people are watching. It's also a big honor to play in the JCC. I can't wait for that. That's one of the um, games that's been going on for some time now. I think they said it's like one of the longest. So I know that they usually have it at the Shane Center. I know because of the crowds and stuff like that, they might move it. I know right now it's at St. Joe's. Usually, yeah, they have it at the Shane Center. They're having it at St. Joe's right now. They said that the place may change. I'm not sure yet, but I'm really excited to get in the gym with some of the top players in the state. I want to, I mean, I feel like that I'm one of them. So I'm just excited. It's an honor, it's a blessing. All this work finally starting to pay off.
Well, Ty, keep doing what you're doing, buddy, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck as far as with the last couple games that you have, as far as All-Star games are concerned. And hopefully, at some point, you'll be able to find a home for you as far as after high school, and then I can get you back on here and we'll talk about where you decide to go. But best of luck, man. Seriously,
Of course. Thank you. I appreciate that.
no problem. I'll wrap things up here in the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm on a journey to find them all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and be well.